My video for May the 9th, 2019 is video number 3080. The title is at the Impasse Again. The unexpected death of a man I have known personally for nearly 2 years has had an effect on me. Ironically, I was on the elevator again with the man I thought was the one who died in the complex where I live. Of course, I did not mention to him that he was the one I first thought of when I learned that a tall man in the apartments had died. There is no need for that, although we did talk about the death of our neighbor. He also told me he has high blood pressure, but he no longer checks it. He doesn't want to know. I check mine almost every day, although I do miss once in a while. And I made another mistake. Why don't I see these when I first check it? Anyway, that's the next word. Anyway, I am again at the point of deep reflection as to why I'm here and whether or not I am serving any meaningful purpose. All my life, I have thought I was here on a mission, but so many doubts are surfacing for me. Should I continue making videos every day? Will I live to see some of the positive changes I have long thought were part of my life's mission? Is there a real and loving God? Or is that part of the many great deceptions? For most of my life, I have felt at least somewhat connected to a higher purpose. Have I been deluded as to what I feel as I feel most of humanity is? Have we all been deceived? Of course, I had a video or a radio program for many years ago called Be Not Deceived on WTTC in Towanda that I've mentioned in probably numerous videos by now. But this man that I sat with virtually every week for nearly 2 years, as I said in the blurb, and all of a sudden he's not here anymore, and he just wasn't feeling well, and he reported that to our mutual friend. And the next thing we knew, 2 weeks later, he's not on the planet anymore, and they had to take his body out because there was a stench in the apartments. The people, his neighbors, were noticing an odor coming from that apartment. He was already decomposing. He had probably been dead for at least a week or more when they finally removed his body. Anyway, I am struggling, folks, to be honest with you. I am really struggling. I sat here for a number of hours. It's almost noon now when I'm recording this. I usually record early in the morning on most days. There are exceptions, but most days I record after I put the other video live after 4 a.m. in the morning. And this time that's not the case. I went for my walk and took care of some of my normal morning duties. But I've been in a state of prayer and meditation much of the morning, contemplating why I'm here. What's the purpose of it? It seems so insane to me. And yes, I hear all of the alternative perspectives, and some of them resonate at least somewhat. Some of them have resonated with me in the past and no longer have that same resonance that they once did. And I'm questioning. I'm at the point where I'm questioning everything. You know, there seems to be so much suffering. And to me, it's unnecessary, because the people that seem to be the most in control of humanity's existence do not have humanity's interest at heart. They are selfish and greedy and seem to totally lack empathy at all. They can't put themselves in anybody else's shoes. At most, they are opportunists that take advantage of situations to make a profit or in some way to benefit themselves, whether or not it hurts anybody else. I don't think that way. And most of my life, I don't think I have thought that way. I'm not saying I've been perfect. Of course, I've made mistakes and done things that in retrospect, I wish I hadn't done. I'm not even going to go into it. So some of them started coming up again, but there's no point in rehashing all those things. But I don't want to be an escapist. I don't want to be in denial. To me, denial is the worst of all sins, and yet it's the sin that is encouraged by many spiritual teachers. Only focus on what you want. Don't give any credence to what you don't want. Well, to me, that's living in denial, and that's a humongous problem because there's only the now moment. The past doesn't matter and the future isn't here, so let it go. Only focus on the now. Well, that may sound like a nice thing to do, except to me, it's the total lack of responsibility. It's irresponsible, in other words, because you're not connecting the dots. But they say there are no dots. There's only now. Now is the only dot there is. I don't buy that anymore. If I ever did, even for a little bit of time, I have a real big problem with that, because I believe there is a continuity. Even if we are able to jump things, like people going into other time experiences and stuff like that, and I take their word for it, though I don't know that I've experienced it personally. I don't think I have. But I take the word of those that say they've experienced that, and I just simply can't relate because it's not my experience. And what is my experience is the angst I am feeling as a result of this man who was just a couple of weeks ago with us. And week after week, for many weeks, for nearly 2 years, he sat at the same table with me and our female friend. And now he's gone. And it hurts. Not that he's gone. We weren't that close of friends, but we knew each other, as I said in the previous video. What hurts is the uncertainty of human life. We can't depend on anything, not even on supposedly God keeping his word. We can't depend on it. That's the conclusion that I've come to. It's not something that we should or can rely on, because even if there is a loving God, that's a completely different time reality for God than for us. And they say, well, time is just an illusion anyway. Well, everything is just an illusion anyway, they say, right? Everything's an illusion. Well, then why bother? Why bother at all if it's not real? Why are we playing a stupid game? And that's all it is a stupid game that has no actual meaning, that has no real foundation. That is just something that's created for the entertainment of whatever the gods are. It's certainly not entertaining for those that suffer. At least I don't think so. Anyway, that's my video for today. And I'm sorry I can't be more upbeat, but right now that's not where I am. And being in integrity to me means being honest with yourself, and I'm being as honest as I can with you. Thanks for listening, and namaste.